Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
How are
Yeah,
we, mate?
yeah, I'm good. Yeah, so co-calming. For God's
Yeah.
sake, that 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 sounded that sounded so bad. Co-calming, co-calming. Starting well, starting well.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Has Shazza told you that I'm doing the stream because of the voice thingy that I have?
It's fine. Whoever streams it doesn't really matter. So, if you're
Okay.
streaming, cool.
Okay, I mean, of course, you can stream yourself, your own stream if you want, but mine is gonna be the main one if you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just post it. Last time that I've done a stream was round 1. Actually, yeah. And then, yeah.
You Polish?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a decent accent.
yeah. I mean, Polish, but living in Finland, so I have like a mixed accent, you could say.
Right.
Okay, I have a pop monster because I haven't slept today at all. Neither yesterday. Because of like our trip that we were doing. Like to
Right.
Poland and all that.
I was born in the Netherlands, but I moved to Australia, so some of that Dutch accents kind of left me.
Yeah. So you have pretty much the same situation as I do, or similar. Because
Yeah.
because I was born in Poland, but my parents were living in Finland already, so.
Right.
I posted in that, then just. Yeah, now Shaz has mentioned everyone, so maybe. I mean, we can just still like rant some stuff, but if, for a few minutes, but of course we need to do the actual talking. Because after this, we have Monaco to commentate.
Monaco.
Yes,
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Monaco of all races.
Yeah,
Listen, if you're gonna do a league race around Monaco, at least make it nighttime.
it is. It is nighttime. It is
Oh boy.
nighttime. But I've commentated once. It was so boring. Nothing happened at all.
I mean, true. Like once gaps are formed, like nothing happens.
I mean, that's pretty much when in all the races, but in Monaco, even if the gaps are close, it's still boring because you're not gonna send it.
It's tight.
Yeah, because like there are no straights that you can actually like get close to from like 5/10, 4/10,
Yeah.
and you have to be like right up the arse on the either on the start finish straight or in the tunnel, if there, like really right up the arse.
Yeah, and then you've only got the two DRS zones, which are tiny. So,
One, there's one.
what about the tunnel and
That
then the main
there
street?
is no DRS in the tunnels. It's banned
Oh,
basically.
I thought there
And
was. Oh well.
and as well, the ERS usage in on this game is ridiculous. There, like you're barely gaining anything of ERS. So like as well in terms of ERS, like it's a tight circuit and a slow circuit, but you're not gaining any ERS somehow. Or I don't know. In this game, maybe a bit different, but on last game it was you almost didn't gain any.
I think on this game you can lose ERS a lot more like a lot easier. but
Yeah,
you can gain it back easier as well.
yeah, that's the thing. Mm,
You see sprint quali.
yeah, again, the same, Max taking pole. I mean, yeah, good
Yeah,
for Oscar to,
barely.
yeah, yeah, 11,000 for him is like, how is it so close? What the, how is it so
Because it's
close?
raining. Red
Yeah,
Bull's car is like made for dry weather with DRS, and when that's taken away, they can still win, but the gaps are going to be.
yeah, that's the thing. Okay, Larsa said it gains easier on this game on some tracks. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much everywhere. On 2020 Bahrain, oh my god, that their ERS, it was basically the same. Like you didn't gain any ERS, but nowadays it's easier to gain ERS there when you're not using it. You literally couldn't gain anything ERS. Like you, same situation. It's the same exact situation. You were gaining barely any of it. Um. Yeah. Oscar was 7 tenths faster in the middle sector, and it was purple sector by half a second. Yeah, but it, you don't get pole by just one sector. Just, I mean, you can get, but if you have only one good sector and then the two others are bad, but
Right.
but it's not going to be a perfect lap either way. Okay, maybe now to the tracks, because I like to do like a little information on tracks every time. I've always
Sure.
the the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, uh, in Barcelona, of course, duh. Circle length 4.657 kilometers, number of laps 33 here because we don't do 100%. First Grand Prix was hosted in 1991 with a little different track. Now it's even closer because back then in turn 9 instead of going like you of course know how turn 9 goes, yeah?
Yeah.
So there instead of so there's like on the left like that little piece of tarmac, like it's like a little type of fast chicane. That is what they were taking in the early days, but now it's just a more tighter and then just a straight. Yeah, race distance about 153.45 about, because again we're not doing 100% the distance. Lap record is set by Max Verstappen in this year 116.330. Best overtaking places are turn 1 and turn 10. I mean, in my opinion, still turn 4 is still a alright place to overtake, in my opinion. But
What I've realized from racing here and also from commentating in previous races is the new like rounded off like I guess corner that's no longer the chicane, it's just now flat. That's also a good opportunity to gain maybe 4 or 5 tenths if you can get the right racing line.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, yeah, that is true. But again, like it that pe- that final sector was never really a well besides turn 10 and 11, which are basically the same corner. It was never really
Okay.
made for overtaking. Like
No.
even with that chicane, and like it was way too tight, and it it was no point because if you overtake there, straight after that
It's
chicane,
DRS.
yeah, it's DRS detection zone. So
Yeah.
so you're stupid and just and you did an Aston Martin basically now that I so basically and yeah, you watched sprint quali, didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, turn 1 to turn 4 and turn 10 are best overtaking places. Still like decent ones, like alright ones, but you don't really think to overtake. There are turn 5. Well, that's pretty much it. But yeah, two DRS detection zones. One is just before turn 9, and second one, like we said, well, back then it was after the chicane. Now it's just before turn 14. It's still in the same place, but it's just now we call differently. Like I said, it's not after the chicane. It's after just before turn 14. And yeah, now it's yeah. Move.
I was just gonna say, like, mention the standings for D1 because Red Bull, who did a season. And on multiple occasions, they've had some type of spin or loss of rear, and Red Bull really need to pick up a win here, or at least get some type of double podium on the board, because they need points and they need to pick up a win. Because either Shaz or Reggie has done so, and that sees SDR Noise in the Aston Martin lead the championship, with Reggie P2 and OJB in the Ferrari P3, who picked up a win in Qatar.
Yeah, as well, Noise didn't race last, did not finish the first round. Yet he's now leading with 2 back-to-back wins. And by the way, we're going into quali as they ready up. Yeah, I mean, do you want to be the kind of main commentator, the one that talks the most? Because I can be the you can be the David Crofty and I'm Martin Brundle kind of thing, if you want.
Whatever suits you, really. I don't mind.
Because I've seen with some people that I haven't really done comms with 2 people. Like, I've done it maybe 2-3 times, and I've seen that. Well, once it was just that I was talking most of the time because my friend just doesn't talk as good at English as I do. That was the main thing. And then as well, like, just when I talk, I just talk and I don't stop sometimes.
Oh, buddy, you've met literally an identical twin.
Okay, so I mean, it's just that I stutter myself. I just stutter, so I like to just, when I have the momentum, I just go. I just go with it. So, you know.
That's kind of similar with me, because like when I stop, I'll end up like having like the need to like cough or something. But like when I keep going, there's like no interruption.
Yeah, that's the thing with me as well. Yeah, first car. By the way, first car's out on track. Mipio, Pete, and Dragon out on track. Wait, let me just my game, because our system overall. Right, a little bit more volume. Yeah, now it should be better in terms of volume for my headphones. But yeah, Hudson as well out on track. All on the softs.
DJ Death Dragon most likely will be the first person across the line to start the fast lap here in Q1, seeing he's ahead of the other drivers who've come out of the pit lane.
Yeah, but Dragon is as well very quick driver. Even though he's in the Alfa Romeo, he's a very quick. Yeah, I mean, you could say that about both Alfa Romeo drivers, to be fair. Both of them have been able to really get the most out of a car that really isn't of great performance. Yeah, as Dragon has started his flying lap, I like to do that. I just go with their laps, and with first 3 corners it has been very good, taking tight lines and fast. First sector 22.045. Turn 4 still very good, no mistakes. Most importantly, no mistakes everywhere. Turn 5 as well, very good, taking a nice line on the exits. Turn 6, well, it's flat. Turn 7 and 8, it's very difficult here with the rear ends trying to stepping out. And then turn 9, flat out on this game. You sector 1 double yellow flags for no reason, as always. Second sector 51.506. Turn 10 and 11, taking it very nicely, and then turn 12 taking it very wide on the entry, but then closing it in, and then turn 13 flat out, and then turn 14, it's downshifting to 6th, and the ears open, crossing the line, and it goes P1, 113.188.
Yep, and the Alfa Romeo now setting that. You have the Alpine just behind. He's gone purple in the first and second. He's gone a bit wide in the final corner. He hasn't invalidated, but he's improved to a 112.852.
Yeah. And the AlphaTauri behind wasn't on a lap. It was on an out lap. Then we've got the other Haas, Mipio, who's... no, that's not a... who's on a lap, but it's a very terrible lap. It's 18 seconds slower, so they ain't really good. So yeah, I mean 130 at Spain, I highly doubt that's just massive amount of skill issue. Like,
I mean, that's even high with the chicane.
Yeah, so if that's just skill issue, I don't know. I don't know how is this guy even driving. I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, of course, like I'm not saying that he has skill issue because on Discord he's in some sort of a esport team, so I don't. So
we ASM Matt in the gravel.
Oh, well, I've seen that before, in real life, with an AlphaTauri spinning on that exact corner. Nick Debris, letting through a Haas and then a Mercedes.
Boy, Williams in the wall, he's out. Oh. That is all in the Williams. He's hit the wall going into the hairpin in turn 5, if I'm not wrong. Might be wrong with that. And
yeah, going into turn 5. Yeah, going to turn 5. And Bell goes P1, 12.530. I'm very rusty with commentating. 2 weeks out and I'm already very rusty. Like, I don't have the flow that I have.
I can do the main talking if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, if you want, do it.
Okay. OJB going slow, just letting some drivers by at the moment. We'll switch over to Bubinov in the Mercedes, currently on a fast lap. That's a 21.744 in the second sector, or the first sector, sorry. Going through the second sector now. DRS active with the rear wing fully open for the Mercedes. Reaching the braking zone now, braking around in between the 50 and 100 meter board, and he goes to the purple in the second sector. So the Mercedes starting to set a light at the moment, continuing through the third sector now, going into the second last corner, which is now just a straight flat corner instead of the chicane.
That has gravity.
Wow.
That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible from Gravity. I was going on board with him, and that was just an absolute terrible let-throw. I mean, it wasn't even a let-throw. It was just
just a blockage.
Yeah, a blockage.
And it doesn't matter now because FIA has now given him a 5 grid place penalty, so that will be given towards the Haas, stopping any opportunity of any high position for him.
Yeah, and Bubinov got a grid penalty as well. Bubinov as well got a grid penalty.
That's just a glitch of the game. Yeah, unfortunate.
Beautiful.
OJB in the Ferrari on a fast lap, going through the second sector. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. And going through turn 9, flat out as always. It on this game is flat out. And second sector 51.008. It's a very good,
very solid.
Yeah, half a second faster than Dragon's second sector. Turn 12 as well, very good, and then turn 13 flat out, and then turn 14. Some people do it differently, but most of the people I see downshift, and JP goes P1, 112.395, over 10th faster than Bell.
Just want to switch over to Alexis Beast in the Red Bull. He's gone purple in the first sector, continuing into turn 6 now. He's done well with the downshifting. He's got overall good rotation, continuing now into the next corner. DRS now active, rear wing fully open for the Red Bull as he reaches the next braking point around the 150 meter brake zone. Now continuing on, a little bit of rear loss there as he gets on throttle a little early, but overall not too bad from the Red Bull. Continuing on now, reaching turn 13, I want to say, I might be wrong.
Yeah,
and then
14.
Final corner, DRS active, and across the line goes the Red Bull. It's a 1:12.515. It is roughly 2/10 off the Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, he had a faster second sector than JP. I saw yellow sector in turn 1. The sector 1. That's a horse. That's Gravity again, doing his own beautiful work.
I don't think he's made a mistake. I think he's just letting room for other drivers.
Well, he has broken front wing, so
yeah, he's got front wing.
yeah. So I think he is, and I saw him sideways as well with Alex as well when I was POV with him, and he was sideways in there. Bumanov still with his same time. By the way, I said, goodness me, Bumanov didn't. Yeah, I started so much. Good goodness me, Bumanov didn't get any front wing damage from the contact him and Gravity made. By the way, none at all.
Interesting. I mean, this game is a bit iffy at times, but
it is.
That was a pretty high impact. So for no damage, that Mercedes must have some kind of crazy durability we're unaware of.
Yeah, little bedrock.
ASR Matt coming into turn 14 now, the final corner. Does well, decent rotation, full throttle, DRS active, and across the line it is very slow, 135.175, so must have made a mistake along the way, or got out of the way of another driver, but either way that sees him at the bottom of the timing sheet at the moment.
Yeah. Shimon, I mean, meanwhile on a flying lap, as well as Albo, Illyrian. I call him Albo, is the same person. You might call him differently.
He told me to call him Albo, but I prefer Illyrian.
Yeah, I have the opposite. And Albo goes P11 113.821, but Shazza.
Yeah, Shaz in the shadows.
That showing little Max Verstappen here, 8/10 faster than JP. Wow. 111.577. That's a very quick time.
Chimney, he's going to come across the line. That's a 111.954. That sees him P2 and roughly 4/10 off Shaz.
I mean, still a very good time from Gemini, but I'm still stunned by Shaz's time. 111.5. Jesus Christ! I think that's faster than Max Verstappen's lap record in the race.
I can quickly check that for you.
Yeah. I just do it on the F1 app most of the times, or all the times. Bubanov is on P9 113 point. It's very close in the midfield, by the way, between Lassie to Dragon. It's 1.5 between 4 drivers, or mainly it's between McLaughlin and Mipio.
So Shaz is on a completely different planet, and so is Chimney, because they have beaten Max Verstappen's pole time in real life, with Max getting a 112.272.
Okay, and what's it?
On a 111.577.
Wait, I swear to God that I saw Max Verstappen having a 111 points. Bubanov has retired in the pits. Meanwhile, no, Bubanov has not retired in the pits.
Wait, what?
He's crashed out. Bubanov has crashed out.
Did he crash in the pits?
I think he did, because I heard some cracking noises, and because he has a 13.0 and window has 13.8, which is impossible.
Turbo Man as well, Aston Martin.
Yeah,
But
but
that I think that might just be retiring because it being Q1 and he's made it through.
yeah, yeah, but Bubinov has actually crashed out in the
Yeah,
pits.
and to be fair, if ASMR, SDR noise, any of the drivers in the bottom 16 even improve, just, I mean, even set a lap time faster than 1:13 flat, then Bubinov is out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was again high, and Max Verstappen's lap record time was 1:16.3, not 1:11. That shows the lack of sleep I got within 2 days.
I think we also have to remember that that 1:16 is probably with the chicane still on the,
No,
because
no, that's this
no,
year.
it has to be. What?
No, it's this year.
No.
It's this year.
That makes no... Was it rain? No, I know it wasn't raining. I was watching it live. I swear. Wait. Are we both high right now?
Probably. We're probably both high now.
Damn it.
Lars, meanwhile, okay, maybe back to the game. Lars is improving by 3 tenths in the first sector, and in the second he has lost a little bit, but still 3 tenths
Yep, solid
of improvements.
game there.
That's 3 tenths. Dragon has retired in the pits. 3 tenths, that's just behind Mipio. Can you find some more time through the final sector? I think he did, and he goes P7. 112.9
Should
for
be safe from
0.
elimination.
Yeah, quite a lot. I mean, it's 9 tenths between Lars and Albo, so I think that's safe. Anyone else on the flying laps? Noise.
Well, SDR Noise is coming around the final corner now to start his lap, and there you go, just finishing up turn 14 now on the straight. So DRS wide open, rear wing fully open and available for the Aston Martin coming into turn 1, breaking around the 50-meter mark, getting decent rotation, just following the curve and making sure to use the throttle as much as possible. Nearly loses the rear through turn 2, but does well, continuing through turn 3, then going into turn 4, brakes is once again around the 50-meter mark, trying to maximize the most out of each and every corner. Back on throttle as he continues into turn 5, does well. Once again, the cornering seems to be very solid from the Aston Martin, absolutely nailing it so far, but no purple sectors at the moment, just solid green sectors to set down a base lap time at the moment. Going through sector 2, then just reaching uphill. DRS once again active with the rear wing fully open, braking in between the 50 and 100 meter border. Now it's purple in the second sector, so you can tell that Aston Martin's starting to pick up the pace here, continuing through the next couple of corners, just making sure he can maximize it. Then you've got turn 13 as he just absolutely full throttles it, absolutely no issues at all. Turn 14 once again, brakes slightly early, then can full throttle it. DRS active, and it's a 112.414 in season P4, very much safely away from elimination.
Yeah. By the way, he didn't upshift in the going just before turn 14. I was a little bit busy. Meantime that you were commentating, I was a little bit busy with the other league that I'm in, well, commentating on as well, TPing, or basically being a team principal, some things. But I'm back. Gravity starting his flying lap. Behind there's a Williams of Albo starting his flying lap as well.
Yep, we have Illyrian in P16 in the Williams, just starting.
Matt as well. Ooh, a little bit of corrections through the turn 2. Albo.
You do Matt, I do Illyrian.
Who?
So I'll do Illyrian or Albo, and then you do Matt, and then we can like compare.
Okay. Matt still no mistakes on the lap.
Yeah,
798.
At the moment, it's going to be a close finish to see who's going to be in or out of qualifying at the moment. Obviously, Bubinov P15, he's edging being in and out right now, but it's really just a matter of time.
51.788 Matt's second sector. What was Albo's?
Pretty similar. I'm pretty sure it was a 57 point. 8. I think it was pretty identical, to be fair.
Okay.
Maybe a couple
Gravity
hundreds quicker
P17,
either way, but
Albo
very
13. And Matt P14, there's still Hudson behind. He's improving on his lap. And that improvement is enough, but did he hang on into that improvement? No,
Oh,
he
enough.
didn't. 2,000s! 2,000s of a second! And he's out!
God.
Hudson lost it! And he crashes out of anger. Oh, and he's sideways. He's like, whoa!
So,
Whoa! And now he has been flipped!
okay. Alright. What
See it in my stream. He was he literally, like, the barrier literally like lagged him so that he flipped like the barrel roll and just
no, gravity loses it and he hits the barrier. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just
That was so weird. But yeah, Hudson is out by 2,000s, and as well Matt is 9,000 behind Albo, so it's a very close between those three. But yeah, it is Bubinov who crashed out. Meanwhile, in the quali with a time.
I mean, that's your bottom 16 there. That's Alfie Hudson in the McLaren Alpine window. P18 is Gravity, P19 is Harry, and P20 is Oren the Williams. That is your bottom 16 confirmed and done. Yeah.
Yeah. But for some reason, Harry didn't do a lap. For some reason. But yeah, that's both McLarens are out, which, well, in this game might be a little bit normal, but in real life, that's very not normal now. As they're doing a mega drop from being a little tractor to being a spaceship, you could say. I mean, it's a good comparison though. Still.
Yeah.
From what they were at the beginning of the season to what they are, it's, I don't know what the hell have they done.
Sorry, what was that? I swear I was about to hear something else.
What?
Oh no, you said what the hell, but it was like what the hell.
I don't know. Again,
Never mind.
still the lack of sleep showing.
But
Machaza P1 with his one and only lap. Gemini P2, JP P3, Noise P4, Alex P5, a very good time as well. Bell P6, P7, very good time in an Alpine, ahead of Lars in the Mercedes by 2/10. George P9, Lassie P10, Mipio P11, Dragon P12, Albo P13, Matt P14, and then Bubinov P15, Hudson 16th, Windows 17th, Gravity 18th, who is going to be last because of his 5+ grid penalty, Harry P19, and or
You're saying it like me now. He's getting stuck on the word or us when someone sets a
yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna Tractorista. Who the hell is Tractorista 007 in the comments? Bro, we're having some very good time in here. Like, instead of, I don't know how I don't know, but we're having yeah, and my glasses are full of fog. So
Mick Clussy, the first one out of the pit lane, currently going through the turn 4, just trying to warm up his tires, going left and right, a bit maybe over dramatic with the warm up of his tires, but he's doing it nonetheless, revving the engine as well as he does so. now going through turn 6 as it goes uphill, which then connects up to a small straight and then bends off. Should be flat throughout the entire way, but taking it slow, obviously being an outlap for the Alpha Tauri. People behind you also have the Alpine of Clap by Pete, the Williams of Illyrian, the Alfa Romeo of George, and more drivers are slowly coming out as Lacia spun.
At the same place as Matt. A little bit earlier, but still at the same place. AlphaTauri's a little... AlphaTauri's really like to spin there, I see.
I mean...
Yeah,
it's just
well, let's see. Downshifting to 5th on the exit of the final corner, but let's say starting his first flying lap of Q2. Let me just get the lap data. Turn 1, missed the apex in turn 1, but then turn 2 hit the apex actually. Turn 3 getting on the grass on the inside, a little bit too desperate to get as close as possible to the track. 22.140 in the first sector. Turn 4, I realized that he downshifted to 3rd there. Turn 5, very good exit using all of the track. Turn 6, flat out of course. Turn 7 and 8, see how the rear goes. Oh, a little bit stepping out on the sausage curve as well, but not with his floor. So turn 9, flat out of course. And second sector is going to be 51.669. Turn 10, very
nice. Because obviously AlphaTauri went purple on the first, which is now taken by the Alfa Romeo.
Massive. Lassie had a little bit of a moment there in turn 12, and Lassie finishes lap, and that's a 114.116.
George is now going to cross the line and make that a 113. And Alpine behind of Clap by Pete's now going to reach turn 14, and he'll be able to improve it to a 113.4.
7 and Albo 113.515. So at the moment, and JP goes P1 112.001. It's a very good time. Almost a 112 dead. It's just at 1000, but at the moment.
Yeah, Aston Martin of Turbo Man currently going through the 3rd sector. Don't know if he's gone purple in the 1st or 2nd. Wasn't spectating when he did go through there. But reaching turn 13 and now the entry and exit of turn 14. DRS fully active as he reaches the line. That is a 112.131 season P2 just behind OJB around the 10th down. Yeah,
and then Lars and the Mercedes, but he's starting his flying lap. By the way, I've seen that Pete, Albo, George, and Lassie, they will be all out if those will be the times in Q1. They'll be all out in Q1. But of course, it can depend if they used their used tires or new tires, or maybe they did just a banker.
I'm pretty sure they're new tires from what the telemetry is saying, but I could be wrong. It could just be one lap old because of the new session. So
yeah, and as well, like I've seen that telemetry as well lies, because I don't all of a sudden someone just improved by like a mass amount of time just because of the tires, or actually with that logic with nothing. Lars with his flying lap, 51.258 through the 2nd sector, and then turn 12, getting really close to that curb. Do not run that curb because you will then spin, or I've not seen anyone driving on it. And then turn 14, downshifting to 6, and then immediately on the exit into 7th, and that's P3, 112.838.
SDR noise just behind the Mercedes now on a fast lap, so make sure that Lars gets out of the way for him when he does eventually catch up. Going through turn 1 and turn 2, hooks them up very nicely. Good rotation in the Aston Martin. Now continuing into turn 3, gets very nice with the apex, doesn't go on the grass, and gets good rotation, meaning he doesn't go wide, and that's purple in the first sector with a 21.687. Continuing now into turn 5 as he goes into the braking zone around the 50-meter mark, and now back onto the throttle, pedal to the metal as he continues through this track, and now turn 6 uphill as he then needs to carefully avoid the AlphaTauri on the inside. Goes a little bit too much curb there, and that could be floor damage, but for the time being it hasn't invalidated him, and he's gonna now continue into the second sector with a 50.862, but this time it is not purple, so obviously Aston Martin losing some time in the second sector, most likely maybe to that curb and maybe a mixture of other things, but now going into turn 13 and then into the braking zone of turn 14, what will the Aston Martin be able to set on the board? It's a 112.254 and it is P4 just behind his teammate.
Yeah, Shaz as well went P2 only after his mega
wow.
lap in Q1, but again it could be just because he used his a used set of tires.
I'm gonna guess by these times these are most likely used tires, because I know Shaz and he's normally pretty quick and on the mark, so yeah, I'm gonna guess these are used tires for the time being. Alexis goes purple in the second sector, 51.275.
And through turn 12 very clean, and then through turn 13, and then through turn 14, downshifting to 6, and then up to 7 on the exit, and he goes P5, 112.784, and that's half a tenth slower than Lars. I suspect that's again used tires. But I've just...
Yep, Jiminy in the Ferrari, sorry for interrupting, DRS now active, going into the next couple of corners, then into the braking zone.
50.5!
Whoa, what a time! And now the Ferrari seems to be picking up the pace. Sorry, might be on fresh tyres, not 100% sure, but the Ferrari seems to have a bit of pace in his pocket. He's going to reach turn 13, now turn 14, does well, full flat, now DRS, and it is a 111.781. What a time from the Ferrari! Incredible stuff.
Very good time from Gemini. I mean, depends what Shaz did in the second sector, because I've not looked at his time at all in Q1, but I honestly thought that would have been like very close to Shaz's time. I mean, it's still 2/10 about to Shaz's time, which is still close, roughly. but I mean, it's still a very good time, and he's gonna get through, of course.
DJ Death Dragon, who most likely is on fresh tyres, has just gone purple in the first. Didn't catch what it was in the first sector, but either way, he's signed a blitz the timesheets as he now continues through turn 5 and now into turn 6 as it goes up into higher elevation.
Oh, it is me? Okay.
Oh, it is you now?
Yeah. Dragon 51.1 through the second sector, and then through turn 10 and 11 into turn 12. Again, nice and tidy. There are some clouds getting onto the track. There could be some rain. Could be at the end of quali, or maybe at the start of Q3. But Dragon goes P6, 112.592. A very good time, given his machinery. Bubinov has left the session. Okay, rage quit, I guess. Okay.
Maybe. I don't really see a reason to. He was already spectating, so.
No, it could be just really like
internet, maybe.
Yeah, internet or connection issues or whatever. Maybe the game just said no, and he kicks him out because that's what the game likes to do as well.
And the Alpine of Clap by Pete now on his second fast lap of the session on fresh new soft compound, so it's going to be interesting what he can do. He's 700ths up in the first sector as he now goes through. He's done a purple first sector as well. Now going through turn 5, decent exit on the throttle, nice and steady, and now continuing into turn 6 up into the higher elevation. Does well on the corners, doesn't get on that sausage curb that can spin you out and you can skate on it like a skateboard. Now DRS now active with the Alpine, rear wing fully open, going into the next braking zone. Does well, that's purple first and second, but the purple was snatched away maybe, or maybe just quickly flashing on the track map and then disappearing, but now continuing from turn 12 into turn 13. Does well, not too much curb, you can grind your floor on there, and then into turn 14. Does well, DRS active. What can the Alpine set on the board? It's a 112.417. It is P6 for clap by P.
Very good. They're with whatever the time is, because they're yellow flags. Just a little above 3 minutes until the session ends. Albo is on mediums for some reason. I highly doubt that he's gonna improve on those. But yeah, currently George, Matt, Albo, and Mipio are on the chopping block.
Yep, and Lars doing a fast lap now.
Yeah, Lars doing a fast lap. I'm gonna do this whole lap. First two corners I didn't really see, but turn 3, I mean, it's flat out taking as close. Whatever the words I'm saying, 700s up on his time. A very good first sector. Now into turn 5 and a very good exit, and heading into turn 7 and 8, down to 4th gear, and then up into turn 9, flat out, the most aerodynamic corner on the calendar. I've seen there's an Alpine ahead, hopefully it doesn't interrupt them or anything. 2.5 tenths up on his time through the second sector. That Alpine doesn't interrupt them at all. Turn 12, getting very nice and tidy through turn 13 and into turn 14 now, downshifting to 6th. And that's the lap done, and that's P7. Slower than Pete. And Pete in the Alpine. So Lars has lost maybe some time a little bit. But I mean, it's still a very good time, but I mean, Pete's time is a very good, saying that he is in the Alpine.
Yep, and George going through turn 12, he's just about to finish up his out lap here on fresh soft compounds. This is obviously an opportunity to get out of Q2 and get into Q3 as he now goes over the timing line to start his final stint, his final push lap of the session.
Mipio is off track on the
gravel.
Yeah, and he has front wing damage. For Mipio. And with depending on the time that he has left, I don't see it. No, that's him out. Because that's him out. I don't think he's gonna be able to improve with or do any sort of a very good time on this.
Well, George currently going a 10th up in the first sector. He got a 21.372, so very solid time from the Alfa Romeo. Now continuing through turn 6 as it goes up in elevation. Now DRS about to open up and the rear wing to fully open. There you go. And the Alfa Romeo continuing downhill through the straight and now connects up to the hairpin. Does well. Decent cornering, go wide and then straight into the inside, and that gives you a very good exit and allows you to maximize the amount of time on this lap. Right on the white line, make sure to get the most out of that corner, and into turn 14 does well. DRS active just before the timing line, and it is a 112.654 season P9. He's not fully safe from elimination and can see anyone from bottom 11 improve.
Meanwhile, Alex goes P6, a very good time from him as well. Almost trying to crash him out, or himself out. And Matt up to P10. Yeah, McCluskey has retired as well. So George and Lussie already out. Mipio as well, I would say.
George is slowed down.
Yeah, because he doesn't have enough battery in his car. Albo is not improving, and Mipio is and his time is not quick enough. So Matt goes in by just 11 thousandths of a second, barely making it in.
Very close.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's George McCluskey, Albo, and Mipio out of Q2. Gemini, meanwhile, topping up the Q2 charts with 111.780, and his teammate JP in P2, Sheza P3, Bell P4, with his teammates Noise P5, Alex P6, Pete P7, Lars P8, Dragon 9th, and Matt rounding off the top 10.
Well, now we get to the exciting part of qualifying. We get to
The best part.
to see who will start at the very, very front of the grid, and you can see just the final couple of drives coming over the timing line or pit lane before we get into it.
Yeah. Now we just wait for the drivers to get into the pits and everything, and then waiting for the...
Take 15,000 years.
Meantime, I'm just checking the Discord with again the same thing that I was doing earlier.
Alrighty.
Loads of pings in this because, of course, of the standings getting released and everything. Yeah. Is there anything happening in the actual BP server? Matt actually. Well, there's no ads or pings, but I see Matt is excited to get into Q3. George saying he's stupid. McCloskey had no grip on the last run. F2 abort start. Is that?
Yeah.
I guess
Either
F2.
way, this is your bottom 4 because P15's not here, but it's George P11, McLussy P12, P13, Albo or Illyrian, and P14 is Mipio in the Haas.
No, there's not really much going on in terms of like, there's Matt and Lassie, of course, excited for his teammate to get into Q3. Why are we not going? God's sake. George saying lost. He's stupid with the marbles. Are 410s in 2 corners. 410s. That's 410s. 112.6. That's. With that time, he would be 1,000 behind Noise. If exactly 410s. Of course, it's not exactly 410s, but maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, but still like somewhere around Noise, Alex, Bell, somewhere close there. Yeah, George has to ready up. Lassie's tires overheated and understeered heavily. I warmed up the tires very passionately. No, passionately. Yeah,
Passionately.
Yeah, yeah. Again.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
yeah, I'm getting there. Woo.
Alright, we are still on this timing sheet for some weird reason, and we are still waiting. Oh, there's the 30-second timer. It was because Bubinov was in the session, but now the 30-second timer can begin, and we are slowly, and I mean incredibly slowly, but surely getting into Q3. And then we can start the exciting action of the fight for pole position and the fight for the top 10 and for the final time for people to set where they will be on the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix here for D1, here for BP Racing.
Yeah. Yeah, now into Q3, or for me it's not yet Q3. I've
loaded in, but it's...
Oh, now it's... Lap? 12 minutes! Yay.
I made this joke back on Qatar for round 1. It's lap 12 minutes, baby. Here we go. It's lap 12 minutes. We got plenty of laps remaining.
Yeah, plenty of laps remaining.
Oh, we got the Ferrari coming out now.
Yeah, Ferrari coming out now. JP.
JP.
Yeah, anyone else behind him? At
Most
current,
likely only 12 minutes.
an Aston Martin that spell another. Jesus Christ, there's so many. Alex, another Ferrari. There.
Here we go. This is
Hey,
the pile up.
here we go. Pete
Here we
in.
go.
Here we go. I can't. I can't. I can't.
You tried doing Mario or something.
Yeah. I tried, but with. But I mean, maybe I could have done it like 3 years ago, but now since puberty hit and I've got a deeper voice, which, I mean, for some it's not even that deep. My friend says one person is like 14 and sounds like 30. I'm not joking. He sounds like 30.
You know, don't mind me being like nearly 15 years old and sounding like this. Don't worry about that.
I mean, to be fair, I mean to be fair, you sound like a 15-year-old.
I do.
Yeah. For me, you do. Okay. For me, you do.
I mean, mate, come to my school. I swear to God, every fucking 14-year-old. I mean, every bloody 14-year-old sounds like 30-year-olds. So I don't know.
I mean, it could be as well because of the mic. Maybe it's enhancing or doing something that's deepening your voice.
Alexis across the timeline to start us off for Q3 with AlphaTauri very close behind and Alpine to join, and it's only going to keep going because it is just a cluster of drivers trying to set a lap time in only 12-minute session. But either way, Alexis to start us off here in the Red Bull, going through turn 3 right now is more of a revolving corner, doesn't get the best exit, but either way it is going to be a 21.613 in the first sector. What can the AlphaTauri of ASR Matt do? It isn't faster than the Red Bull, but he is surely close behind, could potentially get a slipstream, but maybe just a little too behind for any slipstream to actually have an effect.
JP 21.431 first sector, almost 2 cents faster than Alex.
Jesus.
Alex second sector 50.918.
That's a solid second sector, to be fair, to clap back at OJB, but we'll keep comparing between the Red Bull and Ferrari. Also keep an eye out on Shaz.
Him out! That's lap done. He made a mistake in turn 9 and he went off track. Didn't invalidate, but he let off. Alex P1 112.455, Matt 113.188, Pete 112.863. Bell goes provisional pole position 111.709. Gemini P2 111.925, and then Dragon is gonna come round off the lap, and he's not gonna go P1, P4.
That's P4.
112.553, but JP's first sector was 21.4431.
You can see how much, how little fuel he's running on the car. He's already nearly out of fuel. I don't even know if he's going to be able to finish this lap, or if he'll have to come into the pit lane. We'll have to keep an eye out, because that little fuel indicator is flashing quite a lot. So it's going to be interesting how the Ferrari runs this. But either way, 21.421
even
in
faster
the first sector. Excuse me, Ferrari, what are you cooking? Okay, OJB.
Overcooking, and he's out.
Overcooking. He overcooked the
steak. Burned the whole house.
That steak is black burnt. That it's done. Oh
it
no.
It is done. But now Shaz. Here we go with a second crazy lap. This time with Shaz.
This is Shaz Verstappen. Currently on a lap time.
Yeah. Massive mistake in turn 2. Just went a little bit too. Tried to cut that turn 2 way too much, and he like just went straight. The car just didn't turn. What's it
now you've
like?
Got Mars and a Mercedes behind.
What's this thing called? Like when like the tires are not on the ground, but
on the levitating.
Kinda.
Above.
No, no. There's one term that F1 term that is that I can't remember now. But anyways, tried cutting
Lars.
to yeah, Lars 51.0.
In the second sector. Obviously, Shaz going in the gravel, and obviously, if you get Wildstorm saying "oi oi 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 oi" multiple times, then you know it's a big incident. And now, Lars in the Mercedes going to come around the final corner. We're going to see what he can set on the board. DRS active and 112.654 P5. Solid position.
And this time, Noise, the championship leader, is on a flying lap, and that's 21.788. That's 4 times slower than JP's first sector.
Yeah, but it's at least a time on the board, so the Aston Martin needs to improve in the second.
Not yet.
Somewhere in the 50s should maybe help him out here, but the Aston Martin going uphill into turn 6 and followed by turn 7, and now turn 8 as he get maybe too much curb there, but not too bad. DRS now active, and it's gonna be a 51.196. It is purple in the second, so not too bad from the Aston, but I don't think he'll end up on pole here. I think it will be a provisional pole, and later down the line someone will be able to improve like Shaz, but turn 13 will then be followed into turn 14. Fully on the brakes there, he sticks in 6th gear, but it's a 112.8 flat.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say that second sector was slower than Lars' second sector.
Yeah.
So, and Lars is P5. So I mean, how the hell? I don't think anyone could ever gain a second on someone just in the third sector, just like that.
Well, I think we need to consider Shaz Stappen real quick, but
yeah, but I mean, being 51.1 in the second sector, but then all of a sudden taking a pole, which is one or personal pole position that is faster than 111.709. I mean, that'll be near impossible, but I mean, near. To be fair, that would be impossible. Dragon on a flying lap. Meanwhile, I will do this one. Dragon through the first corner. Very good, taking the apex. Second, turn 2 as well, not doing the Shaz. Turn 3, taking it very nice and tight as well. First sector is gonna be faster than Noise's first sector actually. And he was up on his time by 1.5 tenths. Turn 4 was done very good. Turn 5 as well, the same. Could have maybe gone a little bit more out on the track, but anyways. Turn 7 and 8 as well, very good, and into turn 9. Yeah, flat out, easy flat out. There's open, and the second sector is gonna be 58.18, 2.5 tenths up. At the moment, he will be ahead of Alex, and
looking very good.
Yeah, he's cooking at the moment. And through turn 13, of course, flat out. Turn 14, downshifting to 6th. Get more rotation, and he goes P3, 112.056. Very good time.
That is a medium rare steak right there. That is a tasty steak.
Yeah, that is a very good steak in there. Of course, saying what car he has, because Alfa Romeo is not a very good car. By the way, I just want to say that last week in one of the races, just to point out, someone in one of the leagues got a pole position in an Alfa Romeo, and then somehow, with all the chaos that happens, and I mean chaos like in the last 2 laps, chaos like absolute chaos, like
like
Spa,
everything happening all at once. It's crazy.
Yeah, like Spa 1998. What I mean, he got a win in an Alfa Romeo, in an Alfa Romeo, and as well. And as well, how he got that pole was because one of the best drivers in there, in a Red Bull, that's as well a realistic league, crashed, or not really, no, he didn't crash out, but the game disqualified him with another driver, some sort of a bug or something, I don't really know. It was some weird, I didn't commentate it, I was on holiday that day. Dragon
Well, 1 minute
retires.
38 on the clock, and there's an Aston Martin and a Ferrari who are in the pit lane. There's an Aston Martin now heading out, and I think the Alfa Romeo's just come in, and the Ferrari hasn't moved. So obviously
That's JP.
OJB has retired. I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I think the Aston Martin can make it with a 1 minute 17, but he'll need to do a very fast outlap to make it, which could hurt his tires. But either way, I'm currently spectating Shaz because he's just coming around turn 12 now, and he's about to finish up his outlap. And you're watching Lars?
Yeah, I'm watching Lars, and he has improved on his first sector. You can watch Lars. I'll watch. Or I watch Lars for now.
I'll watch Shaz.
Yeah, you watch Shaz. Lars improving through the second sector by a tenth. With that improvement, he's gonna stay 5th, and let me just look at Shaz real quick. First sector,
Shaz 21.504,
yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. And Lars crossing the line, and he goes out of Alex. Now going with Shazza on his lap.
Yep. Can you currently?
Yeah, you go.
Currently going through turn 6, going up the elevation. He's gone purple in the first with a 21.504. Now through turn 7, does well flat through the entire way. DRS now active with the rear wing fully open. Now into the braking zone, does well, decent rotation. The rear refuses to kick out, which is what you want from the car. Now continuing into the next corner, which is turn 12. Now turn 13, does well in the corner there, and now with good rotation, full flat on
that rotation.
The 6th gear, and 111.679. It's a great time. Turbo Man currently on a 111.709. We'll have to wait and see what the Aston Martin can do. And there's also Alexis currently on a lap. We'll have to see what he does as he reaches turn 14, and across the line it's a 112.071. It's only P5. STR Noise is currently on a lap. He's going to reach turn 14. What can he set? It's not good enough. It's a 112.090. That's P6 for him behind Alexis.
Bell is not improving on his lap.
Mercedes.
Pete invalidated. Lars not good enough, so it's Shazza. Shazza is on pole here in Spain. Yeah, I mean, a great qualifying, even though his time is actually slower than his Q1 lap. His Q1 lap was 111.5. This one is 111.679, taking pole by 300ths. And getting as well a bit lucky that well, Gemini or basically both Ferraris overcooked the two houses, or 1.5 you could say, because Gemini is actually third, but JP like didn't set either lap, like actual lap.
My question.
Yeah.
Right, is in the past 3 races that we've had, or 2 races, we have seen Red Bull make some type of mistake, or some type of strategy mistake, or something that has completely screwed it up for them. Somehow, some way, they end up being on pole every single time, and they screw it up every single time. So are we gonna see this curse kick into place again, and somehow, in some way, Red Bull are going to lose, or are they finally going to get a win?
That's the question. I don't even remember what happened in the preseason, though. Alright, what happened in the Is there... I don't remember what happened in the preseason. That's like... How long ago? That's like a month ago.
More than a month ago, yeah. It would have been back in June when the game first came out. But we're nearly in August. We're on the 29th of August. 29th of July, but we're nearly in August. We are, 3 days away.
Yeah. Okay, there are no race results from, or in the Discord made from the preseason, so I cannot look it up. May I, to be honest. Thank you, Xavi, for the lovely double comms. Thank you. Danke you.
Danke.
Thank you. As we go into the race, is there actually? Let's see if there is actually formation happening here, because
I think there should be.
No, but
Last time I did D1, which was last week, and the week before, and the week before, there was, and there is this time.
There is, because lately there have been, I don't know, has it been patched or what? Because with the new
maybe.
update, but there's been a glitch that if you DSQ in the quali formation lab, then you get DSQ'd as well in the race, in an actual race, but whatever. Bubinov actually, yeah.
Am I able to do the lights out thing?
Yeah, sure.
Solid, mate.
Yeah. We see Hudson, Window, and Harry, who is not in the. Oh, that's elbow out. And Harry, who is not in the lobby. On softs, so we have 3 drivers on softs. Then we have 4 drivers on the mediums. Mipio. No, he's not on the softs.
No, I'm just.
Ah.
Never mind.
Ah, you're doing the thing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then we have 4 drivers on the mediums. Mipio, Matt, Bell, and Shaz, and then the rest are on the hards. It's very interesting how actually little are on the mediums, the drivers.
Yeah. A lot of people obviously going for a more of an overcut here, or going for a faster second stint. And obviously YZ and Turboman starting on the medium compound, same with ASR Matt and Mipio. So not many people on the mediums, majority of them on the hards, and 3 drivers on the softs being, like you said, Alfie, Hudson, Window, and Harry.
Yeah. Drivers are top 4 are on the grid slots, and Bell has disqualified, misses grid slot. Hopefully that the glitch actually doesn't happen, because then we're gonna have to do a whole reset, and that's gonna take like another 25 minutes.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Now you do the talking.
All the drivers. Yep, all the drivers slowly but surely will line up on the grid, left and right, to get that final bit of warmth into the tyres. For the slick compounds, no rain, seeming to be on the looming side of Spain. We wait until everyone's finally in their positions. We'll be wave the green flag, and there we are. So, we wait for the lights, which isn't being shown. There we go, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The lights go out, and it's pedal to the metal for the Spanish Grand Prix here for round 4. It's a good getaway from Shaz, no worries at all, but it looks like Ferrari is getting a bad getaway as Alexis gets up into P3, challenging Turboman into P2, but he'll have to back out of it. Chumini now P4 with STR Noise, making it up into P5, and last falling down to P6.
Dragon as well has fallen down to P7 and getting attacked by Matt going into turn 4. Around the outside, Matt as well got a very good start, trying to get P7 from Dragon, up down inside into turn 5. Can he do it? Yes, he does. Yes, he does get it up to P7. Still Shimini and Noise fought a little bit, but Shimini stays as of right now for P4. JP as well got a decent start up to P9. Hudson got a very good start up to P10.
Makes a mistake. STR Noise is going to have the opportunity to make the overtake. Outside line switch to inside, and that's P4 for the Aston Martin.
Yeah, meanwhile as well, his teammate JP as well tried to overtake Dragon around the outside of turn 10, but he failed of doing so, as there is George spun on the exit of turn 12 and drops down to last. I'll say last because I don't consider I just don't see Harry. Like
Harry.
Yeah, let's just say we don't see Harry, so he's lost.
Yeah, because he's easier. AI, he's ghosted, and he's considered lost. Yeah.
Meantime, Matt and Lars, they fight hard through the first sector. Lars still keeping it in P6, but Matt doesn't give up. He's still there. Meanwhile, JP has overtaken Dragon up to P8. Matt's taken an interesting line through the inside, But now Matt is getting attacked by JP into turn 7. Of course, turn 7 is not really a good overtaking spot. Neither is turn 9. Maybe into turn 10 he's gonna try and overtake him. But no, the gap looks to be too far down. Yes, it is a little too far. And JP still has to look at Matt's gearbox. Meanwhile, Window and Lassie fight for P15, and that's Window up to P15. Mipio has also got a very good start up to P11. Pete got a horrendous start, or where did he? Yeah, he got a very bad start as he's P4. Bubanov got a very good start. Now he's in P13. Or just very good opening lap. As JP and Matt fight for P7 and JP makes the move done. Oh, that's Lars!
Have a look at Matt here. Look at the Mercedes, he's going float. Lars is P6, he's backed out. That's allowed ASR Matt to nearly go on the outside line of the Mercedes. Now going into turn 4, you can see ASR Matt on the outside with the Mercedes of Lars on now switched to the outside. Contact made, rear nearly losing, but still just staying stable enough. That sees ASR Matt into P6 for the time being.
This ain't gonna end
well.
line,
more contact made. This is a bit too much touching for what one car can handle, but it seems to be all clean at the end of the day.
JP as well trying to take Lars up to P10. Turn 10 has his contact!
JP, Ferrari's down to P13, now P14,
and Matt as well
15, he's falling down the grid. Yeah, Matt is also down to P18, P19. He's taking much longer to get going again. Oh my god!
Disaster from, I think JP just just outbraked himself, and instead of trying to overtake Lars, he accidentally hit Matt, and that caused both of them to spin and both of them to lose time. Meanwhile, Dragon has overtaken Lars up to P6, and as well Mipio is fighting with Pete for P8 in the first 3 corners. But Mipio loses the rear in turn 3. Yeah,
that was down to P13. He's lost his rear, yeah.
Yeah, he really lost his rear, like, very dangerously. Like, well, nothing that he could really do, but that was very sketchy in there. As there's like 4 cars, and Mipio completely sends it into turn 4. I mean,
what? And this midfield is a cluster of drivers going just back and forth, and contact being made on multiple occasions. And now you can see a DRS on the Haas of Mipio, but so does the McLaren Harvey Hudson. It really ends up thinking about the inside line. Oh no! And look at this, it could be a double overtake for the Williams.
3 wide into turn 12, and it's more contact. What is this? Hudson is off road.
Alfie Hudson's down to P17, and now this
Window is in P10. Window is in P10 all of a sudden from P15. What he was like 2 laps ago. What is this midfield?
Illyrian, have a look at this. With DRS, will now take P10 and into the first corner. Will snatch that position away from taking 1 point. But the midfield's not done here. More contact being made between the Haas and Alpine of Window and Mipio. And have a look how close everyone is. This is actually very dangerous. And have a look at this, AlphaTauri on the outside, Ferrari on the inside, OJB looking for a move, more contact made with the AlphaTauri. The 2 Italian teams now going wheel to wheel going into turn 5, and on the exit of the corner, Ferrari with the outside will get more grip, and that sees him into P13. Mipio now trying to see a move on the Alpine of Window, nothing can be done, so that sees Mipio having to stay there in P12, but now he has DRS, but so does the Alpine. A bit of a DRS train happening, but it's not going to be enough. Haas down the inside, and have a look at this switch back. Wow!
He lost the rear on the entry, and there was a very good switchback made from Window. Behind them is well, it wasn't as bad of a chaos as it was last lap. Meanwhile, Alex up top has overtaken Noise into turn 1. There's as well a little bit of fighting at the top, and as well between Lars and Dragon. Pete's going wide.
Using DRS, just sorry to interrupt real quick, nearly making 2 overtakes just off of using his straight line speed. He's had to back out of it, nearly hits the Alpine. What is happening in the midfield? This is Very, very dangerous. And now we're going to continue into turn 4 and have a look at this Alfa Romeo inside line compared to the Alpha Tauri of Mick Lussey. Mick Lussey's going to have the inside though. Down the inside goes the Alfa Romeo of Mick Lussey. Can't make it stick though. George to the outside gets more grip, and OJB still stuck out of the points. He should have been in the points by now, especially seeing that he's won Grand Prix.
Mipio spun!
Haas! That's Mipio!
Yeah, Mipio has spun and Gravity got collected with it, so that's a disaster for both of the horses. I mean, Gravity, I mean, there's no one really to blame. I mean, Mipio kinda, you could say, but he just lost the rear, I guess, and Gravity just got collected with it. I mean, you can't really do anything
Just want to quickly say the Aston Martin of SDR Noise, because he's got DRS, he's got the outside line, he's made slight contact with the Red Bull, but he's up into P3. Alexis is not going to give up on this battle though, contact nearly being made on the rear. This is a really tight fight here right now. Turn 3, the rotational corner now going into turn 4. Outside line for the Red Bull of Alexis. SDR Noise now stuck on the inside. You can see the Ferrari behind. He might be able to benefit from this, but here comes the Aston Martin on the outside line. The Red Bull on the inside can't make a move. Now plus more grip because of the outside line. That sees SDR Noise solidly into P3. This is great constructors for Aston Martin as a whole. And now, sorry for that. And now Alexis into P4. Looking to maybe make a move back on STR Noise. DRS active, slipstream at a hole, rear wing open. Is he gonna make the move? He's thinking about it. Nearly made a late lunge, but he's gonna be a bit safe, bit cautious. Tumini's still right behind the two drivers. This is quite a fight at the front of the field now. And now the Red Bull losing the rear there gives a potential opportunity to the Ferrari. Now there's a bit of a DRS train with SDR Noise being the conductor of the train. Tumini will now have DRS, so will Alexis. And have a look at this. Look at how much he's gaining the triple DRS system of the Red Bull. And now with the outside line, which would then switch into the inside, Alexis is back up into P3. But I'm sure this will continue to go as laps go by.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 3 packs, or now it's 2 packs, because the pack that we're seeing, JP, Alba, Lassie, Window, George, those guys, it kind of broke away, but we still have 2 packs of drivers. There is or who are fighting both Mercedes, Dragon and Pete, and then ahead of them is Shimra, Noise and Alex that you're talking about. So we have a little bit, we have a lot of excitement in this race.
Game.
I mean, in this game as well.
Real life. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, very real.
It's very real. Anyway, DJ
oh, that's again Mipio.
That's a Haas.
That's again Mipio at the same spot. Yeah, again at the same spot in turn 6/7. Meantime, Noise has a DRS on Alex. Can he gain enough? He's not using ERS, so he's not really trying. So he's not even trying to overtake him. Meanwhile, I realized Shimina has a lot of ERS compared to what Noise and Alex have. Meanwhile, Pete has overtaken Dragon into turn 1, so he's up to P8. Well now, we just have to say that Bubinov has done an amazing job in these 9 laps, from P19 to P7.
The P7, yeah, he's done more than 12 overtakes this race. Fantastic job from the Mercedes. He has been on the top of his game, and he's right next to his teammate. I'm not sure if Lars is going to defend him off or not. Lars is obviously a good driver, and obviously clapped by Pete with DRS could potentially make a move back, but a bit of a DRS train from P6 to P9 with all drivers getting an opportunity at slipstream with the rear wing being open. So it's just interesting how that will play out in the midfield. Just moving back up.
Oh,
you can
Alex!
see
Alex spun!
Alexis has spun! That's Red Bull down to P5.
And that's reset the track as well. I don't know if that
yeah, that's gonna be a penalty for sure.
And that's caused a massive amount of chaos because of that.
God.
When clapped by Pete around the outside of
Have a look.
Alex.
Have a look at clap by Pete now. Here we go.
But
outside
Bubinov, he does have DRS, but there's a whole chaos again, just caused by someone who spun, and that's Lars up to P5, Pete's up to P6, Pete up to
Wow.
P6, rhymes
Yep.
nicely. Alex down to P9, 8, and Dragon stays in P9.
Dragon's almost patiently waiting for an opportunity here because look at all. If you spectate DJ's on board, you can just see all the drivers clustered above him and just almost waiting for an opportunity to make some moves. I mean, his tires are on hard, so he's going to have plenty of deg, and he's obviously not too bothered with his tires at the moment. It's more just waiting for the right opportunity and making a move. But right now, there seems to be someone else making a move because Alexis outside line compared to the Mercedes of Bubinov. He's going to continue there. A bit of a squeeze there, and Alexis has to back out of it. But have a look at this. DJ Death Dragon now has a better opportunity. Loses some time though through the next corner, going through turn 12. This is just. It keeps getting better and better. Spain really not disappointing at the moment.
Yeah, with now the DRS, can Alex gain on Bubinov enough? Here's a lot of ERS, gaining, gaining, and trying to go around the outside of Bubinov into turn 1, but Bubinov doesn't leave any space, and as well Alex kind of backed out of it. First pit stops, by the way, Hudson in the pits.
Yep, same.
But Alex still very close behind Bubinov. No, I thought that he was gonna try and into turn 5, but Bubinov just found the grip that Alex didn't find, I guess, in there. And now the sound glitch is now appearing. Fun.
Sound glitch is not for me at least, so you know that's a nice thing for me.
Beautiful. I have it because
it sounds like you grating cheese.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. But
you're having a great time then.
Yeah, having a great time. Gravity meanwhile lost 2 places to Matt and Mipio, by the way. I realized there's as well Gravity almost losing it in turn 9 as well. There's as well a bit of a train behind Or, our favorite driver to pronounce, I guess. There's Matt, Mipio, and Gravity in there.
Yep, you also have Alexis making a lot of time on Bubinov in P7, so something could be happening there over the next couple of laps. You can see a red flash from the Mercedes of Bubinov, so he's clearly not got much ERS. You can see 6% in the tank. Alexis has 16%, switching now to 17, 18 as he goes through the corners, and just trying to see if he can gain some time, as we now are obviously on lap 12 of 33, and obviously we'll continue to see some more drivers slowly but surely come into the pit lane. I wouldn't be surprised if the soft runners will be coming in soon. Obviously, as you saw, Alfie Hudson came in for medium, so Window and Harry aren't too far away, but maybe mediums in the next 3-4 laps. Clap by Pete making the move on a lapped McLaren.
Bubinov went a little bit wide in turn 10, I saw, and Alex gained a little bit of time on him. No pit stoppers yet. I mean, everyone is in here on the mediums, the hards, but Alex is using his ERS and gaining on Bubinov. Well, I think there's a little bit of contact, but Alex is on the inside and gets moved on just before turn 1, but that was very close between Alex and Bubinov into turn 1. That was very close, and sector nothing.
Bubinov is using his ERS here, thinking about it. But
and Gemini has spun. No front wing, and that's Ferrari. A safety car. That's a safety car. Gemini has spun on the exit of turn 4, damaged his front wing, and that is a safety car. That's actually plays out beautifully for Shadla and for the medium runners at the moment, because they can go for the hards and go until the end of the race, and this mess up most of the grid, because Noise, Gemini, Lars, Pete, Alex, Bubinov, Dragon, JP, Albo, Lassie, George, Gravity, and Or have to go either on the mediums or then.
Oh, why is he Shazad? 3-second time penalty. He's got one for the track limits.
I think that's just because of the white lines. Just in this game, the white lines. If you just go over the white lines, you get a 3-second. you get a warning.
Yeah, you get a 3-second time penalty
Yeah.
after going over the white line on multiple
Do
occasions.
you know why Shazza and Bale went on the softs?
Actually, that is a good question. Why are they on the softs?
They're making a
And why?
they, they're making a double stop. They're making a
I know,
double stop.
It's pretty clear that it's going to be a 2-stop when you're going on softs. You're not going to make them last 20 laps.
No. No, you're not, but I'm just surprised that no one is going on the hards actually.
Maybe just from telemetry that's being shown on the board that maybe just doing a 2-stop is going to save more time than doing a 1-stop. Not 100% sure. We have Mipio in the Haas who's gone on to hards, and same with Harry. But apart from that, everyone else has come on to mediums and softs. Obviously, planning on doing a 2-stop.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it actually kind of makes sense because I doubt that the drivers can make those mediums last. Like, that's gonna be 18, 17 laps. And then on the hards, they're just gonna lose a little bit too much time. So
19 laps, yeah.
I mean, now it's 19, but when the pits or when
they box.
Yeah. By the way, Gravity didn't pit. Fun fact.
I am intrigued by the strategy, to be fair, because now that safety cars are deployed and people have boxed, I just want to discuss this. Obviously, you have people like Shazad and Turbo and Noise who are clearly going to be going for more of an undercut because they'll be boxing before the medium runners. But someone like Lars or Clap by Pete or even Shimini for that matter could really get some type of overcut. If they can sustain a 19-20 second gap, then obviously not... it's obviously just what's the word? It's a possibility that an overcut can happen, but it is an opportunity for someone like that who are using mediums to make a move like that, to use that type of strategy option instead of an undercut or boxing just before other drivers like the top 3 are planning to do.
Yeah, but this could. But yeah, my thought is that some people actually maybe they went for the sauce to, because hearts are of course gonna last until at the end. But actually now there's gonna be 18 laps to go. Wait, I don't remember when the when the medium runners are actually supposed to come into the pits.
Well, from what I've seen. Obviously, safety car could have just seen the grid come in, so they boxed around the 11-12 lap marker. But from seeing when the soft runners came in, which was roughly lap 10, lap 11, I'd say the mediums can last maybe 15 laps maximum.
Yeah.
And that's like maybe 65% dig at that point. So.
And he's in his lap. Safety car is in his lap.
Yeah.
Which one does it?
So.
Which one will do it?
YZ Shazad.
Which one will do this thing? Which one will do?
Do what?
Yeah, I can. Shazza now regulating or managing the pace on his own, and the safety car is still not in the pits. It's just about to go.
So Shazza will control the rest of the grid, and when
safe car's in the pits, safe car's in the pits, so he can go whenever he wants.
Not gone yet. And now he's gone. He's pulled the trigger, and we're just waiting for the timeline to decide it. And now green flag running here for Spain once again, and Turbo Man's got a better exit compared to the Red Bull. He's going to be on the inside line here. Here comes the Aston Martin. Down the inside goes Turbo Man. A bit of contact made there.
Shaz's off track.
Look at Shaz.
And
Shaz is off track.
Yeah, and that is a Aston Martin 1-2.
It's an Aston Martin 1-2.
Yeah, meanwhile, Alex is down P17, Window down P16, And JP
Wow.
down P18 as well. Massive amount of carnage.
Oh, someone's hit the wall. It's window. No, it's not. It was
Alex.
Alexi. Yeah, Alexis in the barrier. That's now front wing damage. He's not out of this race, but that is really bad for Red Bull. And you know what's also bad for Red Bull? Shaz being down in P4. The curse has struck here in Spain, and
Once
Red
again.
Bull are no longer leading, and they're down in P4. They're not even on the podium, and he'll have an opportunity to go down the inside and potentially make a move, but he's safer. Nearly makes contact once again, but now the top three is the P1 and P2 of Aston Martin, Turbo Man, and SCR Noise, and Lars
Again,
now
yellow
will
flags.
secure
That's
P3.
or. That's or spawn in turn
It's or.
10. But now Shaza being very, very close behind Lars, and the Red Bulls having better straight line speed, pulls to the right. Meanwhile, behind them there is Bubinov as well, trying to make some moves. But Lars, the Shaza is on the inside,
Yep.
and
Made the
takes P3, and he's now provisionally back on the podium. But still, there is 16 laps of racing, and I'm not really now that I've actually thought about it.
This Bubinov is going to potentially take it away
Yeah.
from Lars. Outside line compared to them, bit of contact made, but he's going to have a much more round. Oh, but no more contacts. Sees Lars back up into P4.
Yeah.
So now we can see some constructors here. You can see Aston Martin 1 and 2, and you can see Mercedes 4 and 5. But then the teammate of Shaz is down in P19.
Yeah,
he's coming
and-
to the pit lane for softs.
Yeah, and Red Bulls, and that's Bubinov sending it down inside of Lars, but Lars gets a very good switchback on his teammates. They don't. This is the same like Lewis and George, I guess, in qualifying, but this is just in the race. Bubinov is already very low in ERS. Lars
Yeah,
still
half
has some left, but Bubinov is pushing like crazy. And is he gonna dive down inside? No, he's not gonna dive down inside. Window is
Seconds.
and he's on the inters. Fun fact.
This
But
fight
now
between the Mercedes is almost dangerous, because even a bit of contact could see them both spinning, and then that's constructors points down the drain just like that. This is
It's
actually
raining!
quite a good...
it's raining.
Yeah,
It is raining.
You can see it on the halos. You can
Yeah.
see it on the halos. The
This
rain
is
starting to
why.
pour down.
This is why they weren't going on the hards. I thought
of
that
course.
then later on that
Oh, you can see window on the inters.
yeah. Well, that's a little bit too early, I would say still, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
but
raining,
still.
so this is why
Wow.
people were going actually on the softs, and
Obviously, yeah.
and this is why as well Gravity was staying out a little bit.
This
That's the
must
reason.
have been why, because obviously they can see the forecast while we can't see the forecast,
Yeah.
so we actually don't know if it's going to rain. And that's
Noise in.
Noise in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Yep. So maybe he's thinking about it's time for inters. I think it's maybe a little too early for inters. You can still see a very
Lars
clear
in,
dry track.
Pete in.
Yep.
Many
I
in.
think it's a bit. I think it's a bit early for inters. I can't lie. I don't know.
Oh, but this is contact between
oh,
Bell and
shut-
Shaza.
The Red Bull
the,
curse!
the Red Bull curse strikes
The Red Bull
again.
curse! It
Shaza
hits them
spun
hard.
rounds.
And
Spun round and
I
he's-
think maybe now it's intermediates. I think now it's intermediates. The track is now starting to become damp. It's starting to become more green. Less rubber is going to be on the track, and this
Yeah.
is a perfect opportunity now to be on intermediates. Spray is still low, but it's only going to increase as time goes on. So, oh no, Shazza once again struck with Red Bull curse, and once again Reggie not being here, so Alexis now filling in for him, and he's not done the job. He's actually come on to softs. Why has... Oh, that's someone... He's into the barrier. That's OJB.
JP.
He's reset to track. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
By the way, Shaza didn't spawn himself. That was contact between Bell and Shaza. Just to clarify.
Yeah.
But yeah, half the grid is on the inters, while half the grid is still on the
Well, I
dries.
mean, it kind
slicks.
of makes sense if you consider it, because if you actually
Shazza
look
in.
at the
Shazza's
track-
in. Shazza's
yeah,
in.
I've seen Shaz is in.
Hudson as well
it's
in.
Just, if you consider it, you can still see the rubber out on track. So
JP in.
I'd consider the track damp, but I wouldn't consider it intermediate conditions yet. I'd say if in another maybe 2 laps, maybe 1 lap. Oh, Ferrari really loses the rear there. Chimney down to P6 as McLussy makes the move. But yeah, now we're starting to see more raindrops and more. Oh, there you go. Yep, I think it's intermediate conditions now. Mipipo now P4, but makes a bit of mistake there, and you can literally start to see the raindrops out on the track. It's really starting to put some water down, and it's gonna increase in aquaplaning, and now is the time to be on inters.
And that's VSC. That is VSC. Yep, VSC. And he's stuck. Window's stuck.
Where's Window?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Because he reset to track. I mean, that's a clear reason why to reset to track. He was actually stuck. I could see his tire full on blast, but him not going anywhere. But this plays out very good for the drivers who have stayed out, because they can just now gain time, and now you can see clearly that it's inters.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think the DRS never went on as well.
Safety car was on, so you also have to consider that there was the 3 lap gap before.
But after that you normally get.
True. It could have been disabled because of intermediate conditions.
Yeah, but Bell is in P1, Bubinov in P2 from P19 at the start, and it depends. And now, no!
Oh no!
This thing.
Green flag running.
A bug in the game ruins his race from P19 to P2.
Oh,
and now...
And if he doesn't serve that, that's going to be a 10-second time penalty, so...
No, that's a DSQ.
No, it isn't disqualification, it's just a big time penalty. I've seen.
And now it's a DRS disabled, okay. So now it is. Noise trying to make some moves. Oh, that's a Mipio.
Oh my god, everyone's all over the place.
I mean, Mipio has a mass amount of rear locking, I see, because he's just sliding around everywhere. So, I mean...
Wow.
But now Noise is ahead of Mipio. I mean, it's very good for the Aston Martin drivers, because Bell is in P1, Bubinov has a drive-through penalty, and I don't know how the drive-through penalty, if he doesn't serve that or not or something.
I mean,
Dragon...
Look how this race is transformed. It went from completely dry to damp over maybe 4 laps, 5 laps.
Yeah.
And the people who boxed for inters early are benefiting, but Turboman, who stayed out until VSC was released, is now staying in P1. Bubinov, obviously in P2, but he has obviously, like we saw, got a drive-through, so... Oh, someone's in the gravel. It's Mipio, and he's down to P7. He's now fully stuck in there, but he's starting to move again. But the rain has screwed him over on the intermediate conditions. He's got going again. Have a look at this fighting between the Red Bull of Shazza and Illyrian, and now inside line, no problem at all. And that is going to be move done for sure.
Bubinov 3 seconds. Bubinov 3 seconds. By the way, I've seen Bubinov is actually gaining on Bell. Bubinov is like...
Really?
Yeah, he's actually gaining on Bell, because Bubinov was like 4 seconds about to, with a little bit more behind. Now he's 3.7, 3.8. Well, now he lost a little bit on now it's getting back up to normal. I don't know.
I'm sorry, we haven't mentioned this enough. In Alfa Romeo, which is a crap car, it sucks really, really bad. DJ Death Dragon is in P3.
Yeah.
Maniac. Absolute maniac. He is, honestly, he deserves a better seat. I think he needs to get the promotion to Ferrari, maybe replace someone like Chimney, or maybe OJB, who's had a bit of a horrid race so far, but he has picked up a win at Qatar, if you watch the stream or not. But yeah, now
Bubinov in the pits.
OJB.
Bubinov in the pits, serving his drive-through. Yep. I mean, it's what can you say? Nothing really.
Yeah.
And now that means Dragon is in P2, Noise in P3, Gemini P4, and by the way, Shazza is in P10, now P9, but then overtaking George into
P8.
Yeah, he's gonna be in P8, but the gap to P1 is it's the P1 17 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if there isn't gonna be a safety car, and somehow he's gonna get through all of the traffic, The curse is still on. The curse is still on.
What did I say going into this race? I literally said when Q3 ended, this is the question that would be answered. Is the Red Bull curse well and truly still here? And it is. With race in a row with not a Red Bull win. And once again, this will be the second race with not a Red Bull podium. This has really not gone the way that Red Bull has really wanted it to
Matt
go.
Spawn on the exit of turn 8.
Right, you can see the Alpha Tower,
Yeah, but in the meantime, Gemini is at the back of Noise's gearbox, and he was actually touching it in turn 12, and he makes a move. Easy move. Breeze pass.
No problem at all.
Yeah, he had loads of ERS, and still he has more of it, even though he used a lot of it to make that move. By the way, McCluskey as well in P5. That's something to notice.
Wow,
and that's Alex Spawn, and that's SC. That's a safety car. Now this is interesting because the Bell and Shazza contact. I mean, you haven't even probably seen the incident, have you? You haven't seen them make contact at all, anywhere. You there?
Yep, sorry, I was on mute, but I'm back now.
Yeah, have you because Bell and Shazza, they make contacts, and that's why Shazza spun. And you haven't seen the incident at all, have you?
I did. I was spectating Bo at the time, but
so I mean, you saw from his point of view. I saw kind of from Shazza's point of view. I mean, it depends. It really just depends how is it gonna look. That there could be a penalty, a possible penalty.
It could be 5 seconds potentially, but even if that's the case, an 8.5-second gap, that would still see Turbo Man lead. Obviously, safety car is deployed, so gaps will be shortened, and everyone will line up in a formation. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe remember what you said earlier when you referenced in a different league Alfa Romeo winning. Maybe if Turbo Man picks up a penalty, DJ Death Dragon would win the Spanish Grand Prix.
Well, maybe.
That would be scenes for the Spanish Grand Prix to have another race winner that isn't a Red Bull and to once again make the constructors
Elbow on wets,
Wait,
by the way.
I don't think it's wet weathers, but it could be. I don't know. It hasn't. I mean, the rain hasn't stopped. You can still see rain continue to pour down, so it could actually be rain. But this is a bit of a risk. It does look pretty intermediate conditions from what I'm seeing. I have seen wet weather, and normally it's a lot more foggier from this. And I'm seeing the spray, and it's just, I just don't think it's wet weather.
I don't see the spray actually.
Yeah, there is no spray. That's my point. It's just the wet weather it's not the right tire, I think.
I mean, for us there's no spray, but for them there is of course spray. I suppose. By the way, Alex has been lapped. By the way, just to
really?
make sure.
I mean, yeah, he's down in P18. I mean, Red Bull curse doesn't strike one; it strikes both, and we've seen that at pretty much every Grand Prix. So. Yeah, Alexis down in P18 with Shazza down in P8.
And Noise in the pits.
Everyone then. This actually could be wet weathers, to be fair.
Noise in the pits.
It really depends on what they're going on. I'll quickly spectate him to see what
Alex
they're going on.
Retired. Yeah, but I mean, Noise out. That's gonna be wet.
Noise,
that's gonna be wet.
No,
it is wet.
Wow.
He's taking gamble.
He's taking wet weather conditions.
Yeah, JP as well in and but Noise is taking a massive, and by the way, Albo is ahead of Noise, but Noise is taking a massive gamble because he was in P4, right behind Gemini.
Am I the only one seeing this? But was all like stopped for like a long time because Alexis had stopped on in the pit lane and it took him forever to get going.
I don't know, I haven't seen it, but But yeah, Noise is taking a massive gamble because he's on P4, comfortable P4, maybe getting a podium because Shimano has a penalty.
Also consider how many laps are remaining. It's lap 26 of 33. Let's say if it is wet weather conditions, which from what I'm looking at, it still looks quite intermediate to me. But let's say it is. Even if Illyrian, who is currently on the wet weather tires, if he makes up maybe 3-4 positions, it's just what's it gonna get? A couple of points? It's just I don't think it's really worth it. I think they should have stayed in their original positions.
I mean, considering where he was, where he qualified, that
right. I mean, it's still better than where he qualified, but I mean
for Noise. Noise.
Yeah.
Let's compare him. He was P4.
Yeah, exactly.
And now he's P13.
Yeah.
Personally, and we don't see a thing like it. Just depends how fast is it gonna get, like wet.
This has really come down to strategy and oh, Alpine, have a look at that into the barrier.
Yeah. Into the
barrier. He's down to P15, P16. Yeah. He's eventually going to get going again with a little half spin there, semi spin to get going once again. But
no one else is pitting. Maybe Pete is going to pit now. Yeah, I mean Pete is now pitting. I mean, to be fair, he has nothing to lose now since he spun, and yeah, he has now basically nothing to lose. He's just gonna do the same thing that Alba and Noise are doing. But as well, Alba and basically everyone behind Pete have gained, which is a good thing for Alba and Noise and JP.
Right. Yeah. I just want to quickly mention that safety car's been out for maybe 3-4 laps, and even though it's wet weather, from what we've seen, it actually does look rain is increasing, and we're starting to see more imprints from the tires, so it is getting, I think, a slightly more damper, but I still don't see the profit from going on wets. Either way, I think safety car is most likely going to come in this lap. Wouldn't be too surprised if it does, but I also wouldn't be too surprised if once we get up to a faster motion, more people are going to start losing their riz and start spinning.
And just being retarded as well, maybe a little bit that, but it just depends.
I mean,
who is
have
it gonna
a look
be?
At this midfield. If I mean lower midfield from like maybe P15 to P10, just it looks so clustered, and it just feels like something will go wrong with how hard they're fighting each other. And there is my prediction going correct.
Yeah, there is
safety car in this lap.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have to prepare our emotions.
Just very close. Top 5, oh no. Oh no.
Top 4. Imagine this 2 years ago. In 2021.
This would be something.
Okay, yeah.
So,
back to this.
Aston Martin. Left, right, trying to get some type of heat into pretty cold tires on the intermediates.
He's going, he's going.
He's pulled the trigger, and he's gone. And we're going to wait for the green flag to eventually go. He's going to reach the timing line, and it is green flag running here at Spanish Grand Prix once again, hopefully for the final time. Nick Lussey got a slipstream on the Ferrari of Cimini, but it doesn't look like it's going to be good enough to make a move. So right now, he stays in P4. Have a look at this. Have a look at the build-up. The top 5 is so close, and have a look at this. Lars has made a mistake. He's lost the rear. Shaz is up into P5. Look at this. Lars is going to go into Bubanov, and Bubanov is now going to go into P6 as P7. Now Fulsan, he's gone wide, and now Mipio is now up into P7. Yeah. Oh my god.
But actually,
multiple positions changes.
But I actually think now it's better for the wets, because Albo is actually gaining. Is actually gaining, and there's a Mercedes. That's Lars spun in the.
Lars down. Lars is in the gravel.
That was one of the. And there's more contact between Hudson and whoever was
more
that.
More people in the gravel. Clap by Pete's out. Clap by Pete's out. Safety car. Safety car.
Yeah, that's safety car once again. And well, Lars DSQ. I mean, he just stood there. I guess he just got annoyed. And Jesus Christ, that's both of the Alpines gone. That's one Mercedes.
So, you know, like, let's just say, metaphorically speaking, that it's lap 28 of 33. And safety car's roughly going to be out maybe for at least two laps.
Okay, no, Bubinov
maybe
wasn't in.
3 laps. 2 laps, 3 laps, right? Let's say
Noise is
that
in.
is the case.
No,
right?
no, he wasn't. He backed out with last seconds, I think.
Oh, to this.
Or,
Oh my god.
but noise. Sorry that I interrupted you, but I saw noise going in, but then all of a sudden just didn't turn in, and just barely missed the pit wall.
He did a Fernando Alonso at Bahrain.
Yeah.
Getting the absolute most out of the slipstream and then backing out of it.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't any slipstream or whatever.
Obviously, like I said earlier, you made the reference to an Alfa Romeo winning, and then by the skin of his teeth, then doing it, and obviously a bunch of chaos happening. This has been chaotic. This has been filled with crashes and collisions and spins, and now 4 DNFs in this race, as Harry now gets past clapped by Pete, who's now DNF'd. My point being, if Turboman does get a penalty and safety car being out for maybe another lap or 2, DJ Death Dragon just needs to be maybe 3 to 5 seconds inside his gap, and he could win after the FIA has made their decision.
He could win, but
he could.
But it depends.
On track right now, I think it is going to be Turboman, but it isn't too late for someone like Chimini to come back. Obviously, he has got a penalty, however. Mick Lussey could, but I highly doubt it. Listen, I think it is going to be Turboman who wins out on track today, but we'll have to wait and see. We're not going to make predictions until we see him at turn 14, making it around the final corner to see the checkered flag. But right now, this has been a very chaotic race, and a race to remember for BP racing history. That's for sure.
Well, there are some drivers in the pits.
Now you've got Noise in the pit lane.
And JP.
Remember, he thought about it, but now he is in the pits.
And JP, what's he gonna go on? Inters? Yeah, back on Inters. Noise.
Yeah, they made the crap decision, and
back
now
on
they're finally
Inters.
going back.
Yeah, they're going back on the Inters. So actually, even though, I mean, for me, like on an eye perspective, without seeing any data or anything, this actually looks like wets, because there are as well now puddles of water as well of the racing line.
To be fair, when I hide my UI and I'm not showing any type of information, nothing, you can see the reflection from the ERS charging. You can see certain puddles that could represent aquaplaning, but at the same time you can see that the intermediate tires has created a slightly more drier line. If you have a look, you can see like a darker patch, which is where the dry line is, and you can see where the wetter patch is. So I think if you go off that dry line, it is wet conditions. But if you're on that dry line, it is intermediate conditions. So I feel like it is a mixture of conditions here on the track. So you actually have to be very careful on where you race each other, which is why I made the prediction earlier on that like someone racing another person could spin or crash out.
Safety car in this lap once again.
In this lap once again.
And this is gonna be the final one, because I
know
there can't be any more.
You can only have a safety car in the final 3 laps. You can't have one. So
yeah. And
this is it then.
And on the opening lap, I don't think you can have. But anyway.
So, who will win this race? It's looking like Turboman, maybe DJ Death Dragon after penalties are applied, but for now, we focus on the on-track action. We wait for Turboman to make his decision. When is he going to go? He's gone. He's pulled the trigger. He's on full throttle, and now going through turn 14 to start lap 31 of 33 here for the Spanish Grand Prix. No safety cars can be deployed, and here we go once again with green flag now being waved. We can see. Yep, we can already see that stuff starting to unfold because of rain, because it most likely being wet weather once you go off that dry line. Majority of people on the dry line, however.
Oh, Gemini losing it.
Oh,
lost it a little bit, and that's again contact him, and that was Shazan between
Oh,
McCluskey,
have a look at
Shazza,
this. You can
and
see
Gemini.
Bubunov outside line to Shazza on the Red Bull. Bubunov has a better exit, and now Shazza will have the inside. He's going to send it. Bubunov with the outside as he's going to stay there. He's going to look for a better exit, but no, the rain has not allowed it. Now Shazza's up in the P4
Mipio
and maybe
trying
looking... Oh, there's a Ferrari. I think that's OJB. He's down to P4. Actually, no, it's another Ferrari. It's Chumini. He's out of the race.
Yeah.
Chumini's out.
Yeah, and both houses are P6 and 7. Meanwhile,
Oh my
as hot
God, look
there's
how chaotic
mass.
it is.
Yeah, it's chaotic as hell. Albo up to P9 now.
Alfie Hudson doing an absolute send, but he's gone wide. He's gonna potentially go on the gravel. He's gone too far down. He's down to P14, now fighting with Orr in P13, but you have to back out of it. And have a look at this. You can see OJB trying to fight back with SDR Noise. Nothing can happen. Have a look at this midfield. So clustered, so close together because of Slipstream and ERS of a mixture of things. Lap 32 of 33, the penultimate lap has started. Yeah, this is crazy. Do you mind if I do the commentary when Turbo goes over the checkered flag?
Yeah.
Okay. Back to action at hand. We can
George
have a look at this Alfa Romeo of George off track. Yeah. Wow.
A little bit of contact. There was again
George
losing the
once
rear.
again continuing to lose the rear. Down to P12 now.
Yeah. Down to P12. Meanwhile, JP is still trying to make some moves as the rear getting loose, way too loose.
Mipio.
Yeah, Mipio down as again. JP, the rear getting way too loose. No, that yeah, that was Haas as well, but JP as well spun, and Ferrari again. They've burnt the whole village. Now.
When they went to cook, they didn't mean to burn, but they have fully burnt down everything in their sight. Wisey Shazard's looking for a better exit than Mick Lussey. Mick Lussey in a podium position, by the way. An Alpha Tauri, an Alfa Romeo, and an Aston Martin. All teams starting with an A, currently in the podiums. And now, starting the final lap of this race, Turboman will lead with a 1.5 second gap, but I want to focus on Shazza here, also focusing on the midfield because it is absolute cluster of cars racing each other. But Shazza could have an opportunity to make a move on Mick Lussey outside line. Is he going to think about it? No, he hasn't made the move yet. Also consider that Shazza has a 3-second time penalty that cannot be removed. So right now it's looking like
the rear lost, and that's Noise ahead of him. Noise coming out of nowhere.
Oh my God, Noise is making the comeback of a century, and he's trying to go.
He's trying to go around the outside of McCluskey.
Yeah, when there's less traction, less
and
grip,
he's
but
now
he's gonna
on
make
the
it
inside.
stick.
On the inside now, and has he made it stick with the fresh racers as well? Yes, that's in P3. But there's a penalty.
And
McCluskey
is gonna make it now.
Yeah, now McCluskey realizes that there's nothing to really fight for because those drivers ahead of him have penalties. He doesn't.
Exactly. He's gonna go back up in the P4, and SDR Noise is gonna lose it. So Mick Lussey, if he can just stay in that gap, which he will, he'll be back in the P3. This is going to be a crazy podium, but the man who's going to be on top of the podium, currently going through turn 12, and he has done fantastically. He dealt with the pressure. He had a great strategy when it came to the rain, and when intermediate started to pull in. But now, Turbo Man coming around into turn 14. It's the first time he'll win a race here in Season 6, and it's a win for Turbo Man. Aston Martin on top once again for the third race in a row. DJ Death Dragon P2, McLussey P3, Shazza, and the Red Bull Curse in full effect down to P4, ASR Matt P5, SCR Noise, the man who went back-to-back P6, P7 George, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone across the checkered flag. What a race here at Spain, with rain, with dry, with crashes, spins, and everything in between. That is a race to remember.
Yeah, it is. There was as well, Matt was as well P5. By the way, I've noticed George 6,000 behind Noise.
Wow.
As well. That's really unfortunate for him. But the man on top is the Dutch.
Yep.
Bell. And for Aston Martin, this is beautiful because they are extending the lead in the extending, or are they even in the lead? I can't even
Let me
remember.
get that info for you, but I'm pretty sure Aston Martin is leading the constructors.
Well, now
With
they're gonna of course lead, but were
yeah,
they
but
already leading?
I'm pretty
As it
sure they were already leading, so it just enforces what they were doing. I'll have a quick look for you, but yeah, it was Red Bull actually leading, but now for sure it is Aston Martin leading it, especially seeing that only one Red Bull actually finished in the points, and it was only P4, which is 12 points, compared to Aston Martin, who scored I want to 34
26.
points.
Yeah, that's
No, because
34 points.
if you think about it, because if you take five away, that's 30, and then four left. So that, yeah, 34 points for Aston Martin, and only in total 12 points for Red Bull. And having a look at that, that would be what 76. And then if it's 34, then okay. Yeah. Having a quick look, Aston Martin now lead the constructors, and if I'm not wrong, STR Noise will continue to lead the drivers. I'll have a quick look. But yeah, Reggie being absent and OJB not scoring any points, that sees Noise continue to lead the drivers, and Aston Martin now lead the constructors here for D1, here for BP Racing.
Yeah, those the results. And who do you think was the drive today? Because the game for some reason gave Mipio the driver of the race.
I mean, it may be because of overtakes. He did start quite low and then make it up and then down and then up. But my driver of the day, who deserves driver of the day? I think for commentator of the day, it's Wildstorm. But then for driver of the day, I think. Ooh,
I mean, there are good contenders. There's Gravity, who started last but then finished P8. There's Bell, of course, winning the race.
I want to say DJ Death Dragon. I mean,
Yeah,
for an
Dragon
Alfa
as
Romeo
well.
to finish on the podium, even with penalties to be a factor, I think that is an absolute crazy drive from a car that really can't perform at a huge level. So, yeah, I think DJ Death Dragon is my driver of the day.
Yeah, but as well, Lassie, who started 12th, finished 3rd. That's as well good consideration. Dragon always showing great pace in here with slow cars. He's showing that he's fast. But as well, like, well, it's mainly for me between Dragon and Lassie. I'd say, even though Gravity did great from P20 to P8. There's all kind of consideration Noise, because you could depends if his penalty is gonna get removed, because you got a 5 second time penalty, not a 3 second, 5 seconds. So that would be where did he start? Somewhere up top there, but then he was like down because of his poor strategy, but then somehow managed to get through all that chaos up to P3 on track. That's also down to consideration. Yeah, I would say between Dragon, Noise, and Lassie, but I would still say Lassie. My drive of the day. Just from, again, the same things that you said. But just that from P12 to P3, and as well just not getting any penalties, any sort of... just driving, really. And getting the opportunities. But the same you could say for Dragon. But still, Lassie is my drive today.
Yeah. I think, yeah, overall that was a very hectic race. It was great to do some co-commentary for the first time in BP Racing with this great man known as Wildstorm. Don't know if you've heard him, but...
Yeah, as well with you. Honestly, it's with someone that knows how to commentate, of course. Or like, I'm not saying that someone who knows how to commentate, but just like that you can do, and of course can be heard on my streams, because if you because I cannot be heard on other streams. And
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can. You just have to change some settings, but yeah.
Yeah, the difficult part comes in when I have the setting on. That's the thing. I have the setting on.
Oh, okay.
But it still doesn't work. But yeah, when it works, and it all works fine as well. Just considering that the other person it just all works. It's actually fun, because you don't have to talk all the time by yourself. You don't have to talk by yourself all the time, and you can actually have a conversation as well. For races like Monaco, it would have been fun. It would have been fun. But I guess, I mean, it depends. But yeah, I mean, it's still very fun. Comes to do with you as well. What the hell is it? Oh yeah, and then
just congratulating us.
yeah, I saw the ping, but yeah,
Yeah.
Reggie just congratulating us in the chat, just saying that amazing comms. Honestly,
Is the stream still gone?
yeah, for now, because we haven't said. So what's the next week?
Well, next week we have in store for you lovely people of the internet, the race known as Portugal. The Portuguese Grand Prix on the 5th of August when we come to Saturday once again. But it should be an exciting round of action. Obviously, that should be fast corners, which should suit cars like the McLaren and, well, Red Bull. And not the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo does prefer lower speed corners, which is maybe why Alfa Romeo did so well today. But, yeah, for now, Portugal is the next round up ahead, and I'm pretty sure it's highlighted because it's a sprint race, if I'm not wrong, but I might be wrong.
Let me just check.
Because I'm pretty sure if it's highlighted, then it's a sprint race.
Yeah, it is a sprint race. So
Yeah,
it's of course like
sprint.
yeah.
Well,
But
if it's you on your own, which it definitely won't be because I'm always here, or if it's me on my own or whenever, I'm happy to do co-coms again.
Yeah,
it was
same.
fun. It was good.
Yeah, we can do it next time in Portugal, and of course every time that we both are available. But if you or me is not available, then we do it on our own. But yeah, next week I'm happy to do comes with you. Yeah, that's yeah. 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 Yeah, it is. Yeah.